So we are asking, what is love? And we said we've got so many opinions about it. Opinions of specialists, opinions of gurus, opinions of priests. Your wife says or your girl says, this is love, or you say, this is love. Or you say it is related to sex, and so on, so on, so on. Is it? Is it related to senses? From the senses arises desire. Have you followed this? Desire is the movement, the concentrated movement of desire. The movement of the senses is desire. Obviously, so don't look puzzled. I see a beautiful thing, which is the senses awakened, and I want it. Oh, come on. Look at it for yourself. You see, we are saying when there is the movement of the total senses, the whole senses, not a particular sense, then desire is non-existent. You think it out. So, is love the movement of the senses with its desire? Right? Is love, to put it differently, desire? Sexually, senses are in operation. The remembrance, the pictures, the images, the sensations, all the time. And that movement of all that is considered love. Love, as far as one can observe, is part of desire. Go slowly. We haven't enlarged it. Don't look puzzled or say, no, that can't be. We're going into it. Is love attachment? Understand? I am attached to my girl or boy. I possess. So is attachment love? And our whole life is based on attachment. Attachment to property, attachment to a person, attachment to a belief, to a dogma, to Christ, to whatever it, attached. Is that love? When you are attached, in that attachment there is pain, there is fear, there is jealousy, anxiety. You may lose. So we're asking, where there is attachment, is there love? When you observe it and you are concerned deeply most profoundly to find out what love is, then attachment becomes unimportant. It has no value. Because that's not love. So, it's not desire, it's not remembrance, it's not attachment. Right? It's not I'm telling you and you accept it, it is so. And is love pleasure? Don't look so depressed. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean you can't hold the hand of another. But we'll find out. If you understand this, we say desire, the outcome of sensation, sensation attached to thought, thought attached to sensation, and from that sensation desire, and that desire wants to fulfill, and we call that love. Is that love? Is attachment love? In attachment there is conflict, there is uncertainty. And therefore, the more there is uncertainty, more the fear of loneliness, the more you become attached, possessive, dominating, asserting, demanding, and hence conflict in relationship. And this conflict is part, you think, is of love. And we are asking, is that love? And is pleasure love? Pleasure is the movement of a remembrance. Right? Don't memorize this phrase, but just listen to it. I remember how nice you were, and how pleasant, how tender, how comforting, how sexual, this, that, and the other. I remember that. And I said, oh, darling, I love you. Is that love? And is pleasure to be denied? You must ask all these questions I'm asking. You understand? You must ask, find out. Doesn't it give you a pleasure to look at the waters of a stream? What's wrong with that pleasure? Doesn't it give you pleasure to look at a solitary tree in a field? Doesn't it give you pleasure to see the moon over the mountains as last night you saw it, perhaps some of it? Great delight, wasn't there? What's wrong with it? But then the trouble begins when thought says, ah, how beautiful it is, I must keep it, I must remember it, I must worship it, I hope to have more of it. Then the whole movement of pleasure comes into operation. And that pleasure we call love. the child, with baby with the mother. And she says, I'm full of that tender affection, feeling of holding. Is that love? Please don't jump on me, just I'm asking. Or that love is part of your heredity. Sorry. Haven't seen the monkeys holding their babies? The elephant caring for the little one infinitely. That maybe we have inherited this instinctual response to a baby. And that is my baby. No, don't shake your head. It's my baby. It's of my blood, my bone, my flesh. I love it. And if you do love your baby so greatly, you will see he's properly educated. You will see that he's never violent, he's never killed or kills another. But you don't care. You only care for that little baby till he's about 4, 5, 6, and then throw him to the wolves. Right? So, is all this love? Now, the positive action is to say, no, I will no longer have sex, I will no longer, I will do this, I will get rid of attachment, I will be free of attachment, I will work on attachment, do something about it all the time. Whereas the negative action is to see it in its entirety. Therefore, have an insight into it. Then you will see that love is not any of these things. But because there is love, from that love, all relationship changes. The ascetics, the monks, the sannyasis in India and Europe and all monks all over the world, they've said, no desire, no sex. Don't look at a beautiful woman. If you do, think of her as your sister or your mother. Or, if you do look, concentrate on the divine. You follow? All the rest of that. And they are burning inside. Outside, denying, but inwardly burning. And that's what they call religious life. Which means they have no love. They have an idea of what love is. The idea is not love. The idea, the word is not love. But only when you have seen the whole movement of desire, attachment, pleasure, then out of that depth of perception comes this strange flower with its extraordinary perfume. That is love.